Hello and welcome back to the Becoming Relentless podcast. I am your host, Elenoa McCabe, and I am joined by my lovely co-host today,
Danielle Kissenberger. We are Team Haley coaches.
Woo! Yes, we are Team Haley coaches. We're posing coaches, and it's just us two today. Seth will be back with us next week, so no worries.
Just us talking.
Our girly chats.
Yes, that we have all the time, but we're going to do it for y'all. And we're going to dive into posing because obviously like we're posing coaches and we're also bikini and lifestyle coaches.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of, I haven't talked to you about your roster. I know you have some males.
I do.
For competition.
Mm-hmm.
Is that growing?
Actually, no. So the majority of my roster right now is women, and I love that. And it's like 50% lifestyle, 50% bikini competitors or wellness competitors. I have bikini and wellness girls mostly.
Yeah, you have that one new wellness girl we met. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, shout out Leslie. She's awesome. She came to our posing seminar.
Which we're going to do one every month, right?
Yeah.
We're going to try to.
Yeah, so I have a date for May in mind at Factory. And then June, there's an event in Houston that I'll promo that you can come and we'll do posing. And then we'll probably do one at Factory in June too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And always
July.
at Factory. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good though. So come.
Yes. If you want to learn.
We give our all.
And it's hands-on. And most of the time, it's not super big, which I actually really like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because the athletes that come, they're getting one-on-one attention. If you have no idea how to pose, we will build you a routine.
You leave with the whole routine.
Yeah.
And all the tips that you can possibly have.
Yeah, exactly. So if y'all can make it and you're interested, you should come. Yeah.
It's easy. Just show up and we got you. But yeah, do you want to coach everyone and anyone? Or do you have a specific niche that you like?
So I love competitors.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to have a bodybuilding team. I really like lifestyle. So I'm open to I like the 50-50 split right now because it challenges me in different ways. Competitors, a lot of them are a little bit more type A and they get anxious about their protocols. And so I kind of have to stay on top of them about certain things. And then with my lifestyle, they're not anxious, but they almost don't know what they don't know. I can educate them and teach them and pass on my knowledge and the wins are different. So I like being able to utilize different knowledge and different parts of my brain for each one, you know?
It is it's like a challenge, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
I agree. I love lifestyle and I love bikini and wellness. And I'm open to coaching other divisions. I'm a star at bikini.
Yeah, that's where all your knowledge and passion is, and I would say
I love lifestyle. I love lifestyle.
Yeah,
yeah, which has grown on me a lot because I was just a lifestyle coach before Justin, and then I went into bikini as well and competition, and now it's just because at one point I was oh, I'm just going to coach competitors. And now I'm just wait, no, I love lifestyle too. So I'm in the same boat. I think they're both so different.
Yeah. I like that you're staying true to your roots though, too. You're not just completely just shrugging them off. Because I do think sometimes people are only competitors, only hardcore. And it's nah, we want to help. We want to help anyone.
Yeah. That's all we want to do at the end of the day.
Yeah. If you simplify it down, that's what we want to do.
We just help people. Yeah, I agree. And then the posing is just a nice sprinkle on top because to be honest, we're just very talented at posing. Very talented.
I feel
which makes it fun.
I learned a ton from you to be I feel you have the eye for all the little details. And so before I joined the staff of Team Haley and I was just an athlete, I was constantly watching your reels on posing.
You're so sweet.
I'm serious. I learned from you. And remember I used to text you, I'd be will you look at my routine?
Oh my gosh. I need to look at your routine. I never sent Anyway, but I think so I remember how I got started in posing. Ashley, long time ago, was you should just start doing it, posing coaching. Because I think my routine was pretty good. And I was still trying to figure out who I was in the coaching realm. And so I was whatever, I'll just start posing athletes. And honestly, it just clicked. But I view it as a puzzle. Because things that don't look good, there's always like, there's a reason. It's just so awesome. It's like the science of posing.
Yeah.
It's like, so like the footwork, people don't understand like your arms and your body and your like everything upper body may look so off just because your feet are off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's cool that something that's on the opposite of your body affects like your whole physique.
Why do you think that is? Like,
so for example, like the positioning of your foot affects how your hips open up, which affect how your upper body opens up as well. And so it's like it's a pattern throughout the physique.
Yeah. So do you think most people don't realize and they try to add too much too soon, or like where do people start going wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that I've found, essentially they hop on a call with me, their first session ever, and they're new. And we get done and they're like, all right, so like the sass part. And I'm like, hold up. You have to knock the basics out of the park first. You have to nail those. Like the footwork and the hips are like my two starting points, along with like the mandatory poses. But the sass comes from, if they nail the footwork and hips, them practicing that on a daily basis or like throughout the week, their sass is going to show throughout their body. So I used to, when I first started, I was like, all right, I need to have like a book in my head of just all these different types of sass for each person. It's like, no, their physique tells us what their physique wants to show sass wise on stage. So it's just us picking that and perfecting it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like it's very individual. So you do a good job of picking out those different pieces.
Thank you. So do you. That's like I said, we're really good at what we do.
I feel
Not to be cocky.
I feel like I can see it so clearly on other people. Like I'm just like, wait.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. But I will like it's practice though. Like we've put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
So with posing too, like a few weeks, like a month ago, I was like, I couldn't teach the walk very well. And I was like, I didn't know what the reason was. I just could not teach it well. And through just like assessing and like deep diving, I've now like perfected how to teach how to walk. Yeah.
Like how to communicate that and get somebody to understand. I feel like there's different cues, like different things work for different people. So just finding that out through like experience and assessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does take a lot. I feel like when it's my weak point, then I have a hard time teaching it. So like the walk to the back was something I struggled with for so long myself. And then like teaching it to other athletes, I was like, it still doesn't look right, but I can't pinpoint why. And now I'm like, oh, I know exactly why. Because I took the time to learn myself and then look at the other athletes and figure out how to teach it.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I'm excited for in my journey, because I haven't, as a posing coach, I haven't stepped on stage except once, and that was when I went hyper. So honestly, I watched that one because I was hyper. And so I haven't been able to like really kind of critique my own posing in a deep prep.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to do that.
Actually, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. It's been a while since we both stepped on stage. So it'll be fun to go back through our like stage.
Yeah.
Posing.
I saw a posing video from nationals and I was like, oh God, someone help her. But that's when like there wasn't, I don't think there was that many coaches I would invest myself into posing wise at that time.
Yeah, I would agree. It was very hard to find a posing coach that you could like fully trust, because I've seen a lot of posing coaches. They really don't know what they're doing.
Dude, it makes me so mad. And it's like, I follow some people and I'll see their posing stuff and I'm like, this is completely wrong. There is nothing right about this. And it's like, well, either I just run my business and like the athletes are just going to find out their own. Like the people are just going to like, learn, or I comment. And I never comment because like, I'm not going to knock someone's empire down,
Yeah.
Like they feel like that's right. Well, maybe it is right for them. But for example, for the walk, personally, this is something that I hate, is when the back feet slide. When you take your step and the back feet slides and the whole physique slides with you.
Oh, like
each foot should be stable. Yeah. You have to step into the step. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's hard, like learning the walk, your back feet are gonna slide. That's how like someone learns the walk and learns how to move their body and physique. But on stage, it's rubber. You literally cannot, your foot's not gonna slide.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
You're getting the extra jiggle or like potential for like movement that you don't want.
Yeah.
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 I get that. And I think that's something that I'm like hyper aware of is because I do turn my feet when I practice on my like flooring.
It's easy to do without knowing.
Like you're saying on the stage, you can't turn your foot that way. And it's like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I gotta remember that.
Don't worry. So I'm excited because I thought about the posting video you sent me and I just want to go look at it. Whoops. But yeah.
So I sent that in to A and she said that was like the best posing video that I've sent to her so far, this really prep. And then I was like watching it back and I was like, okay, because she was like, you need to take that and like make it even better. She's like, there's room for improvement. And then she gave me all this stuff. I was like, dang, like if that's the best one so far, and then I still have all these improvements to make, I was like, that's really cool because I have this, like I have 6 weeks to improve that. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. And like some athletes get knocked down when they send a training video or send a posing vid and then they get sent back feedback.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not working to be at an end all, like this is it kind of thing. Like you're working because you constantly want feedback to change. You know, it's just like life. It's just like training.
Yeah.
In the gym, like you're constantly getting better and like there's always constantly something to improve. So.
And sometimes I've found that like if, for me personally, and like a couple of my athletes where we've had those conversations, if they're taking it personal, like if they're taking my feedback personal, especially with posing or with training, it's probably because I'm hitting like an emotional trigger. Like there's a button there that I'm pushing that's evoking this emotion in them. And that's something that also needs to be explored because like you're saying, this is a journey. It's a process. You're not going to be 100% perfect every single time.
Yeah.
And when we're giving you feedback, it's to get you closer to your like perfect or to your 100. Yeah. But to expect that like perfection out of yourself every time and then get bummed about it if you get feedback, I feel like that's a mental thing that needs to be addressed.
Too. I feel like it could be because A, they've always felt or been told that they're not good enough in some regard, or B, they've always nailed things perfectly and haven't learned that how to take on new challenges and like work with them.
Yeah.
Which I may be wrong.
I feel like that is very true. There's like the all or nothing mindset. And then, so if they're not like all 100% perfect, then they're like, oh, what's the point? And they get down on themselves. Or if they are really high performers or like high achievers and they expect that out of themselves, then they're like disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mindset thing.
It is. Yeah, it is a mindset thing. But it's like also internal work. But with those athletes that struggle with wanting to be perfect or like they get down on themselves, and I know they do if they don't have a really positive response or like something that's like, great job, now let's fix this kind of thing. Like I'll communicate differently with them because you have to like it, you know, you want them to feel good. Yeah. They're investing into themselves. So you want to make sure that they find light through that.
Yeah. It's a like communication thing. And you can figure out who that athlete is and then like tailor your feedback to them.
Yeah.
But
which is super cool too. That brings like, that's just another reason why I love coaching is because like every athlete we have, like there's a different relationship.
Yeah.
And it's different. It's like us too. Like you and Seth communicate differently. Us, like, you know, we're differently. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I like it a lot. I like my job. I love my job.
I love my job. I do. I feel like we do. Like we really love this. And
I just texted Jay before this that I loved my job. And then I walked in. Now I'm talking about it. That's fucking funny. Oh, I love it.
That's how you know everything's aligned.
Yeah.
Because we love this. And posing is like a huge part of that. Like for me, I know you said you don't comment, but sometimes like if on Instagram, and some of y'all know, like, because we've become friends through this, like I have all these friends on Instagram and like half of it is because I'll like DM them and I'll be like, hey, you look amazing. can I give you some posing feedback?
Yeah.
Like, I'll ask really, like,
yeah. What about the coaches though? The posing coaches. So I'm okay with commenting on people that aren't posing coaches, but when you're a posing coach teaching something wrong, it's like a tough choice of like mind my own business or like correct them. Because honestly, correcting, I feel like 90% of people are going to take that as something rude.
Yeah, that's hard. I
say that,
I don't correct posing coaches. That's a good distinction. But because like you're saying, I don't want to question somebody's
like work.
Yeah.
Now,
unless it's blatantly wrong.
Yeah, if it's like, this is the worst thing you could, like, if it's a bad routine and they're posing and they're like, do this, I will comment. But things like sliding of the foot, like a minor tweak, like, I might just leave it for the coach to find out themselves. Because honestly, well, just like any coach, they have to learn. Like, I had to learn. I probably taught things that were like, not necessarily right, maybe not necessarily wrong, but just not necessarily as good as, Yeah. And like, I had to learn.
Actually, speaking of that, I just thought of something. Do you think that there is like a universally right way and wrong way to pose? Or is it, to me, it depends on the individual because, for example, what I'm thinking of is a pro that just hit a couple shows. I'm not going to put her on blast, so I'm not going to name her, but like,
that'd be so
no.
brutal.
I know, like, she did not ask for me to review her, so I'm not going to do that.
Like, Noa.
No.
Awkward.
I'm not going to name her at all. But I'll just give some general, like, she's very tall and her torso is very long, and it's not something that can be manipulated by the suit. Like, she just is very long in the torso, and so they tailored her front pose so that her S curve was showing, like her delts and her glutes and her waist, like the proportion was there, the balance was there. But the front pose itself, like, to an untrained eye, it looks wonky. But if you're looking at the bikini criteria, like when she's standing next to everyone else.
Question. Yeah. I love that you're asking
what do
this
you think
now
about
I'm
that?
using my brain. So I have two answers. The right and wrong, yes and no. There's some things that are like, for example, when people they press into their thigh before they open up into the front pose. If your chest is literally bent over, that is wrong. Okay, your stomach's just out. Like, you cannot keep your
glutes
core
are
tight. Yeah. There's some things that are flat out wrong, like dropping your glutes in a transition. But for the S curve front pose, so I used to hate my front pose because I had a wicked good S. It was a really good S, but I thought it looked horrendous, like at nationals. And now that I know more about bikini and like what they're actually looking for, it does fit the criteria. But I think it was an educational thing. I know who you're talking about with the long torso and just has like a different kind of front pose because she has to almost front pose that way to show her physique in a different. Well, do you feel like if she front posed differently that it would look better?
At first, when I was going through the comparisons and I saw her next to everybody, she stood out because her front pose was so different. But then I was like, well, she's getting top call outs. Like, she's moving up in ranking. So they're clearly liking what they're seeing. And then I was like, let me take a step back. And instead of saying like, oh, that front pose is wrong, let me think about it from the judge's perspective and the criteria. Because the judges are going off criteria. And so that's why I was like, do you think like there is wrong posing? And I agree with what you said. Glutes dropping, we don't want that. Chest falling over, we don't want that. But like, that's wrong. But in terms of like front and back pose,
yeah, I like that.
You want it to match the criteria, or
I will say, yeah. And that's something that in an off season, my front pose looks not like an S because of the more mass and fat I have. Great, the jiggle. But in a prep, most of the time because I'm smaller, my front pose looks more like an S. I like I said, I think what makes us better coaches for posing this, like right now, currently, from like the beginning of the year till now, is like now we look through posing as like a judge, and before we looked through it as a posing coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think we've learned like through going to the seminars.
Which definitely helped, which no offense, I was surprised that it helped so much. Not a bad thing. I just thought it was a posing seminar for like everything we knew. I thought they were going to get told. Like there were some new things that we found out.
Yeah. I love attending seminars just as like a opportunity to connect with people. But same thing. I went in like, oh, this is just going to be like for the NPC, like newer competitors. Yeah.
Scrub your legs.
Yeah. Like shave your whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that going to those things and just dedicating the time and energy to like really learning the craft and like you said, switching our perspective because now we're not looking at it as like competitors or coaches. We're looking at it from the judging perspective and it's different.
It's very different. Yeah. And that's something that I feel like only going to seminars or having one-on-one with like actual judges in a coaching point, not like can I get feedback for my front pose, more so like what are you looking for when you're as a judge looking at all these girls, like those two are different. I think the seminar really helped with that.
Yeah I think so too. So people, if y'all are listening, go to those seminars. They're a big opportunity.
Yeah, or just come to ours and we'll teach you. Literally ask us anything. We're like an open book of knowledge for posing.
And to be quite honest, like if you DM me and you ask, or like I'll get DMs of girls who send me their like routine, I'll help y'all. Like I don't mind at all. Like
it's just pics. The simplest thing. Dude. So one thing, like I don't know if anyone charges people for sending them front and back shots. It's good that we don't because if we're giving you the same feedback that you're gonna get if you were to look at our posing reels, just having someone tell you what to do in your actual like front pose 101 is a little bit more one-on-one.
Yeah.
But like you're going to get the same feedback from looking at our reels, just applying it.
Exactly. Like I want to help girls in the sport. I want to pass on my knowledge.
Yeah.
And of course, there's going to be a time and place where I'm going to ask you to like just hire me. But that's going to be after like if you're sending me pics every day. You know what I mean? Like
it's going to be after you already know you have to hire.
Yeah, like I'm going to be like, okay, I've given you like 20 free
tips
DMs
that literally changed your life.
Like, I'm going to be like, it looks great, but if you want any more detail, then like at that point, you do have to hire me. Like, let's just work together.
Like an actual routine, like you have to invest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're investing.
Yeah, it's like an energy exchange. And like I said, like I'm more than happy to like invest in these women and like help bring them up, especially like beginners. But at a certain point, like it is my job and I want a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Like
this is how I pay bills.
Yeah.
I have to pay rent.
I just got a car. Like I really,
How do you like your car?
Oh my God, I love it.
I like it. It's so cute. I always look for your truck and then I'm like, oh wait, never mind. Yeah.
I do like it. I feel like she fits me.
She does.
She's it's like very, my car. Yeah.
Very Noa. And it's very like it's so because it's white, it's so classy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like set on getting a white car. I don't know what it was, but I was just like, I really want white.
Yeah. No, I like white. I would only go with white or black, except I have a red one because I chose red because I like red.
But I like your car because I do feel like it's like, it's you.
It is me.
Yeah.
No, bro, this is awesome. Okay, so I was walking out of my apartment to go to the gym and I matched my car with my outfit because it's red. And I was like walking in the parking garage and I was like, if there was a crowd of people and I walked out of the parking garage and they had to pick my car, they would pick the red Dodge.
They would know which one.
Yeah. And I was like, my car is so me. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
It is, yeah.
I think it's funny. But I do think same thing with dogs. I think people pick dogs without intending, but that it's like them. But I think like when you look at a dog and you look at an owner, usually there's like a lot that's in common.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that too.
Yeah. Just kidding. Yeah. You and Murphy are very calm and in control. Wait, what did you say?
Everybody always says that. Like everyone's like, oh, you and Murph, like you guys have like the same eyes and you're both very calm. And I'm just like,
go with the flow, but still in control.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because he'll have like his little anxiety, like attacks or he'll get weird at home. And I'm just like, oh man, I have my little anxiety
attacks. That's awesome.
I'm like, we are the same.
Yeah. I wonder what dog I would get.
Oh, that's a good question.
I had a list of dogs that I wanted, but that was before I realized how busy life can be.
I will say, like, I love Murphy so much, but sometimes I feel guilty because I'm on the go so much. I can't spend so much time with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is a lot. Like, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world, but like.
It is a kid.
Yeah.
A kid that needs less of you, but still needs a lot of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in our moments, our eras, our us eras.
That's only growing.
Yeah. And it's difficult to then add like a living thing that depends on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Mia, your athlete, the other day we were in the gym and I was telling her like I'm spending more alone time and I'm spending more time at home because I want to love being alone at home and just embracing that. She was like, you should get a cat. That way you have to go home. And I was like, I am not getting a cat. I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
That is funny. I will say I'm not a cat person.
No.
Like not really at all, but they are independent. You can leave them alone for long stretches of time.
I'm just going to be honest. If I got a cat, for some reason, she'd probably get out of my little apartment and just like, I'd see her on the road, like 3 blocks down, like, oh, there you are. Yeah. She'd be eating like some food on the ground. Just kidding. I thought I would love to have a dog, but I'm definitely not getting a dog.
What kind of dog would you get?
So, okay, if I had to choose, I would get a pit bull.
Yeah.
And it would either be, well, actually, depending on the color of the pit bull, it depends on the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like the gray ones? I feel like
they're so cute.
A little gray pit bull.
I was thinking that.
Really?
But I would name it Charger. Him, Charger. Aww. Like my car. This is great news. Maybe I should just get a red pit bull. Oh my God. That's funny.
They're really pretty. Red pit bulls. They're so pretty. I could see that too. I just feel like the gray pit bull vibe. I could see that. Like I could see y'all like walking around downtown and like sitting in the grass together. I can see it. I am so okay. Noah, you're gonna be so excited. I know. Now I really want one. But I am not letting myself. Someday I will get myself a gray pit bull. Yeah. I'm
gonna love that thing more than I love anything else in the world. Oh my God, I need him.
I know.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I think when the time is right, it'll be really clear. Like you'll feel like, okay, yes, this is the perfect time. Either that or like the universe will like.
Man, I really want a great pit bull right now, but I cannot focus on what I need to focus.
One thing.
In like 3 years or 5, when I'm 25, 26.
Yeah.
That's a good age. You're 27. What age did you get Murphy? I nailed that age, didn't I?
Yeah. I am 27, which I don't feel 27. Like I feel younger, but it's like, whoa.
Probably because you're in a room with 21-year-olds.
I feel like my spirit is going to be 22 for a long time, like internally. We got Murphy when I was 25.
Okay, so he's 2? Wow, he's a young boy.
Yeah. He's turning 3 this year. We adopted him when he was 1.
Okay.
So he already had a year.
Baby.
Yeah, he's a little baby.
Aww.
I know. I'm like, gosh, we got 10 more years with that guy. In a good way.
Okay. I was like, is this a sad comment or
No. Like I feel like the time has passed really fast. Like I'm like, we've had him for 2 years. It doesn't feel that long. I'm like, okay, cool. We have like, hopefully, I mean, gosh, if he could live to like 15 or 16, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a big boy. And I feel like big dogs don't live as long. But he's also my first dog.
Man, that guy
I don't know.
Has a brain in him. If he could talk, it would be just knowledge.
His head is so big.
Knowledge, bro. What is this guy? Like, that's the biggest head I've seen ever.
He has a big head.
Bro, it's so big. You need to measure it with a tape measure.
Dude, I think I will. I'm going to measure it. I'll let you guys know.
And tag me.
How big his head is.
Post it on the Become a Relate List page. Tag me.
Murphy's head
and I'll measure my own.
We'll see whose head is bigger.
Yes. That's awesome. Little tangent. Whoops. But I like tangenting.
Yeah.
That word? Ranting.
Just kind of go. I mean, I feel like we're talking about whatever we want to talk about.
That's what it is.
And most people like that, which is cool. I appreciate that. We both got messages this week, I feel like, from different people.
We got lots,
talking about how cool it is that we just are ourselves on Instagram and social media.
Yeah,
and
we did get a lot of those.
that felt really, it felt good to, I guess, get recognized maybe because honestly, at this point, like, you guys see me with a towel on my head outside. Like, I don't care. I'm just like, this is me.
So, yes. So I was thinking about it, I think today or yesterday, or like all the days are combined, right? So I was thinking about, I was like on this topic of like, it's the coolest thing that we can be ourselves, but it's like us being ourselves pushes other people to be themselves as well, which is the greatest impact to have on earth, I believe. So yeah, it was just a really cool win.
Yeah. It was super encouraging. Like I kind of feel like maybe we've been going through some things just in general.
We have been going through something.
Yeah, we're going through something. We'll foreshadow for next week.
Yes.
Next week's pod, it's going to be good.
Really good.
We'll dive into that. But I just feel like with all of that going on, like getting messages like that what we're doing.
It's alignment.
Yeah, it's alignment. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm
believing.
Yeah, I'm doing the thing.
Yeah. So I have this album on my phone, which I'm definitely going to share next week for our podcast. It's called Reborn. And at the same time, I found a song that was Reborn by Kayvon. People who are EDM. I love EDM. I don't know how to say his name.
I think it's Kayvon.
Kaivon.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I'm calling like my little, I don't even want to call it an era because this is just who I am.
It's just like a growth. Like it's not an era.
I don't ever want to lose
like start
this
and
feeling.
stop. It's like a,
because there was like a time where I kind of lost feeling like myself, but right now like I feel everything and it's all happiness,
Yeah.
So anyways, Reborn.
I gotta listen to that song.
Yeah,
it's an album or a song. It's a song.
But honestly, I listened to all 10 songs on the top 10 and I was like, yes, I like them all. He's good for like this kind of like mood of like, yeah.
I like that. I'll listen to him on the way home. Yeah.
They're good. I'll send you. Yeah.
Reborn. I really like that. Like if you had a YouTube channel, like if life was like a YouTube series, this series is Reborn.
I would. So eventually when Sage gets down here, I'll do YouTube.
Yeah.
I have one video I need to upload. I just need to upload it. But I would like to do like, you know what? I should just start my own YouTube by myself. It's the editing part, which if any of y'all can edit, I will pay.
Yes.
It's like getting on iMovie or whatever Adobe and Premiere they use. That's like, I can't do that part.
I just don't know. I don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Here's me eating.
Actually, that might be kind of cool if you like get a bunch of filming, like footage, and then hire an editor or find an editor.
It's just the editor part.
Yeah.
Who's gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know anyone. So that's why I'm talking on here about it. I'm just kidding.
We're putting it out in the universe.
Yes.
And if somebody listening is like feeling called to help,
isn't it cool though that, would you agree over the last week you feel just way more aligned in life?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because I can feel it between both of us. And like, it's cool it's happening at the same time. And I know for a fact it's only going to keep on going.
Yeah. Just the energy has been different. And I'm seeing I'm just seeing signs all over the place. And I believe heavily in that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
so
me too.
Like driving or just when I'm on my phone randomly. Time, like billboards.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. I'm like seeing signs.
Messages.
Yeah. And I'm like, cool. It feels good. And that happiness is kind of coming up and out of me more often because I am a generally happy person, but maybe even on the last few podcasts, people can probably tell like I was just like not as
Noah.
Yeah, I just wasn't like on my high frequencies. And now I am.
I get it. No, I feel it. There was like the cool thing about podcasts too, and even mostly podcasts because YouTube's like are a lot of editing. It's just like us talking for an hour and like they can feel all of our emotions because like obviously our last podcasts have changed a little bit to like the red flags and like relationships and just more advice in life towards like one another but towards the world too. So it's just super cool because we started as like just bodybuilding and now we're just like us.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like when we came in, I don't know about you, like maybe for you it was the same way, but for me I was doing this podcast as a way to like educate only. But now it's kind of evolved into us just sitting and yes, educating, but also just sharing.
Well, yeah. And like, I think our biggest goal too with the podcast was to impact people. But the biggest way to impact people is just by us being us and not like forcing anything.
Yeah. Actually, you said earlier that's, I don't want to misquote you, but you said that it was like the greatest impact or like.
Yeah, the greatest impact to have is by being yourself and impacting everyone else to be themselves as well. Yeah. I think that's special.
Where did you get that? Or like why? Why do you feel that way? You're like, I just came up with it.
Well, no, I was thinking about it because, well, obviously I'm doing journaling a lot more often. And yesterday I was at home and I was just sitting there and I was like, well, going into 3 years ago when I moved to Austin, my main thing was just impact. And I didn't know how I wanted to impact. I knew I was like wanting to coach and impact, but like everyone impacts through coaching by teaching and like that. So like I didn't really have like a specialty that made me feel special. And I realized that you don't have to have, personally, in my belief, you don't have to pick a certain thing and being like, I'm going to impact people by this one thing. You impact people by like being yourself, and whatever you do within your actions and yourself and how you like share what you learn, share your lessons and like the downs and lows is how everyone else is going to be impacted by you.
Yeah, that makes sense. To me, it's almost like instead of identifying as I am a coach, you're identifying as I am Danielle, and you do so many things in addition to coaching. Like, yes, you are a coach, but that's not the way you're impacting. Yeah. You're not impacting as a coach, you're impacting as Danielle, like as who you are.
You're so sweet. That is so sweet. Oh,
I'm just.
But the same thing for you. Yeah.
I do feel like that is something that I have like learned as well, especially moving here. Because same thing, like I came to Austin and I was like, okay, how can I make the most impact like with the TM staff and what y'all have going? Like it was a little intimidating. I was like, man, got to step it up. Yeah. But instead of, and I think we've touched on that before too, instead of being a mini Justin or a mini D or mini whoever, like I just had to realize I can be myself and that's enough.
That's the power.
Yeah, and that is the power. Yeah. And just continuing every day to lean more heavily into like, who am I and what am I doing to better myself? And like, how can that kind of spread outwards? Like, how can I give that to others?
Yeah. So same thing. I used to put a lot of pressure on figuring it all out. Like what I am. You know, like I need to figure what D is. What does she want? Yeah. Dude, D's gonna figure it out. She knows what she wants right now, what she wants in her career. Same thing. Like, you know, you don't have to have like an outline of everything that's perfect. I used to say a lot of like, I need to get things done. I need to figure this out. I need to do this, or I should have. And like now, like I want to. And like same thing for you. Like everything you're doing, you want to do. It's not because you need to do it. It's because you enjoy it and it's Noa and it provides you like fulfillment, and that means it's providing everyone else around you fulfillment.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that, the intention behind it needs to be from you and not from the external. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, yeah.
I love that.
I love it too.
We went from posing to like
to dogs,
everything in between.
Cars.
Yeah.
To self-growth. Yeah. It's good though. That was a little sneak peek for our next podcast, by the way.
Yeah. I feel like next week's, especially with Sess and like all of us, it's just going to get deep and it's going to be good. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And because we get another week of living life and like just being ourselves and coming and sharing that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what will be next week?
I promise you I won't have a
better version.
So unfortunately. But in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the works. It's out there in the universe.
What if that's so, oh my God, I can't believe I was going to say this. This is a snippet of D. What if I name my pit bull Reborn? But that was the stupidest. I cannot name a dog
Reborn.
But
then you could shorten it to like Reba or something.
Reba for a guy?
Reba?
Rebel.
Oh, wait. Rebel.
So I love this name and I always want it. So I want to DJ. I want to get back into it. I was doing it a little bit and like I fell off because I kind of lost myself. And I'm doing it for fun. But I have a name for myself. And if in my other lifetime, like if that's a thing, then my name will be Presence with a backwards C. And I don't know why I get so much hate for this name, but I think it's the coolest thing ever. Because when I'm like listening to music, I feel so present and it like makes me feel grounded. So I just want to, like, that's the name.
Mm-hmm. No, I love it. I don't know why you'd get hate.
I got some hate.
I'm haters.
But haters gonna hate, you know?
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think that if you wanted to be DJ Presence in this life,
I know I could.
You absolutely could.
So I've also been told that. And focus on one thing at a time though. I'm thriving in what
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to DJ for like fun, for creativity. I like it because it makes me creative. Same thing with shuffling. It's like a creative outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Posing used to be that way for me, but now it's more so, it's creative, but it's also like, I'm really good at it. DJing, I am not because I don't know.
Say, yeah.
Yeah. Shuffling, I know the basics. But yeah, that's why it's like just a creative thing that I want
I definitely feel that. Like with
curiosity.
Posing, it's an art and a science, and we've gotten so good at it that it's not necessarily, like for me, it's not the creative outlet that it used to be anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a dancer, so I don't like free form like pose or free form dance. And I know some girls who do, and that's their creative outlet, and that's amazing, but it doesn't click for me that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from like the creative outlet to me being like, well, shit, what's my creative outlet? So the fact that like, oh, I'm not so good at this, but I want to be, and it's a way for you to channel creativity, that's awesome.
And it's also the fact that, dude, I'm going to play some beats and fail so hard because like it's just fun. Music is fun.
Yeah.
And like creating music and beats will be fun too. But I'm excited to hear what you find is creative to you like obviously. Yeah.
I like writing a lot.
You're good at it.
I want to like,
you know what I'm going to do?
Dive more into
my God, this is perfect. So I was peeing this morning. I really was. And I was writing I was journaling a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just put all of these thoughts on a blog for fun? I don't care who looks at it. No one has to look at it. I'll just put the link in my blog, or the blog in my link in my bio, and like people can click if they want. And I'm not going to give specifics of things, but it's our lessons of life, of what we're learning right now. And I think that would be super enjoyable for us and fun for us to do.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really great idea. I have a friend who started a blog.
We can even blog together. Yeah. We have the same website and just like whenever we want.
Just like put like journal entries up.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be so fun. We should do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I would really love that because I need a place to put everything that's in here. Like,
and it's just fun to write. Yeah.
It is fun to write. And the more that you do it, like the better it feels and the better it gets.
So question, because I do writing sometimes as well, but it's like I'll do like, it's kind of funny. I'll make a quote. Let me give an example. I have one on my phone and I don't know if it's going to make sense at all because when I write it, it makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's going to make sense to the world. Oh my God. So basically, it's basically like watering your own grass. And I said, I was talking about how like life isn't always daisies and roses. Sometimes you find weeds that grow so deep in the soul and grass that's like dead from dehydration. But when you water your own grass, the garden looks greener when you start choosing yourself. So basically it's like the weeds are like the issues that you have to solve.
And you can't just let them be there because they will grow until you can't ignore them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for me with the problems that I'm like, I don't even want to call them problems or issues. The growth that I'm like.
Just like challenges. Yeah.
I'll find something that I like probably covered up that needs to be uncovered. And instead of like ignoring it or just working through it, like that weakness or insecurity or whatever you want to call it, like needs to shine too.
Mm-hmm.
So like let it.
And I've found that like if you can, like to use your metaphor, let it shine, it kind of takes away some of that power.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is something you've been burying or ignoring, if you acknowledge it put awareness around it and like accept that it's there, it takes away some of that like undertone of like,
yeah,
I don't know, like stress. And like, you can,
yeah. That's a great, oh my God. So another thing that I like have learned too, I used to, like I said, I was, to be honest, I dreaded every moment of my day. And it wasn't to a point of like depression where I was just in bed, but it wasn't like, I wasn't excited to do anything. And now like I'm excited to do everything, even if I'm like sitting in the car and I'm like, wow, my schedule's a little busier than I anticipated. How exciting kind of thing. Even training's fun now. And before it was like going through the motions. And I'm losing my train of thought. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. Man.
Just going, like identifying the issues and bringing them to light and like being able to.
So by doing that too, like you said, it gives the insecurity issues or problems like less power, and it gives you the power because you're letting them shine because you're not scared to face them because it's a part of yourself that you're also letting it shine, so you're letting it go. That's allowed me to feel so much more grace and happiness through all the moments of like my day. And I haven't like had a lot of anxiety since I came back from Las Vegas, which is when I had like this wake up call because of realizing that.
Yeah. Like a lot of things came to light and you were just like, oh, they're there. And let me start addressing it by focusing on myself. And
like everything you feel. There's some things that I'm not going to share, but like I've been told, or not direct words, but have felt that aren't important or don't matter, or things that I want that like should be blown off that still affect me. And now realizing that it's okay to want these things, it's okay to like want things that someone else may feel like don't matter. And it's okay to matter to myself. That's given me a lot of power to just like feel okay. Yeah.
That is so powerful. I love that. I really do. 'Cause it's just another level of like self-awareness that I think a lot of people shy away from. Like there's levels to it, and you're just like getting beyond surface level, beyond like the middle layer. Like you're really digging into that, the deep internal work, and it's exciting.
It is exciting. Yeah. It's so exciting. But it's also like you're finding more of yourself. That's where the power is.
Yeah.
I
don't think a lot of people realize like how powerful you truly are inside, like just by.
Well, I think too, a lot of people, for example, they just view it so surface level. Like going to a new gym, they don't want to go because it's uncomfortable, which is okay. And then they get frustrated with themselves, like, why don't you just go? Well, like for me personally, that was me with Lyft. It's not about being comfortable in the gym. It's just it's like feeling good in yourself all the time. You don't care if you're uncomfortable in a gym because you're there to work out. So it's in the internal work. You start with yourself. It's not the gym being uncomfortable. It's you're uncomfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you can face that and realize it, it does take some of that like feeling away so that you can go. Because you're like, oh, I'm not as confident as I should be in myself. And that's why I'm not going to the gym. And then you can take steps to address that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Internal work.
It is
beautiful.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we could probably
I could talk about this forever. That's why I'm so excited for next week's podcast because, dude, I have notes in here.
Dude, I have like metaphors and like I'm ready to go for next week. So
share every win that we're just uncovering.
Yeah. We're going to get like real deep into it, and I'll probably get personal.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
So it'll be good. Yeah, a little teaser for you guys.
A deep teaser, but hopefully like you took some things and you learned from this or just felt something.
Yeah.
I felt something.
I did. It felt really nice to like reconnect. And my energy was really good on this podcast. So I hope y'all felt that.
I felt
energetic
exchange.
No,
it was super exciting. I was like, I wonder if it's gonna. No offense, just because you're in prep. I wonder if it's gonna like I'm gonna have to like work at it,
carry the team,
reel her back out, ask her something interesting. But it was you killed it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it going. I honestly, I want to do this show. Like I definitely do, but I wouldn't be upset if we didn't. Like I don't. It's the weirdest thing. I have no emotional tie to the show date. I want to show up at my best. And so
yeah, like, I feel like with you because I've seen like your evolution of like before of like, I need to do this, I want to do this show and only this show, and like I feel like now you see how powerful you are and you don't care when the date is, you just, whenever it comes, but you love how powerful you are right now.
Yeah. I'm living way more like in the moment, day to day present than I am worrying about the future, because we both have really big goals. Like we both want to get to the Olympia, but why am I trying to put such a big pressure on myself to make it happen right away? Like the journey is where all of this happens. And I finally am like accepting that and then letting the timeline go. And I'm like, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. Like
freedom.
Exactly. It feels so good.
Yeah.
And just, I want to step on a pro stage and look like I belong. And so if that takes time, and it does take time and it will take time, then I'm okay. Time. Yeah. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you're right there. Yeah. You're closer than you were 7 weeks ago.
True.
Yeah.
So maybe 6 weeks out, maybe not, but we'll see. But I do feel like the brain fog is gone when I'm in alignment, like with my day to day. So that's been cool.
You deserve that too. Yeah. I'm excited for you.
We're functioning on high level.
High levels. Only. That's fun. Aw. Yay. That's super awesome.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening to our podcast. And we hope that you enjoyed and that you're leaving more relentless than when you came. And we will see you next week.
Yes. Come back. All loves.
Bye.
I hope y'all really enjoyed the podcast today, leaving it feeling more relentless than ever. But we have a few things that we would love to ask of you, so I'm going to give this over to Noa.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, I know that this is your new favorite podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Leave any comments and questions below. And make sure that you're sharing across social media so that all of your friends get to listen to the greatest podcast on earth.
And if you have any questions about any topics that we talk about or anything at all, fitness, competing related, anything, we'll hit you back up, Instagram or in the podcast under, if the comment box is there, then we will definitely answer your questions and help you out as best as we can.
Absolutely. So leave those 5-star reviews, let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Have a relentless day.
Bye.